Despite a 5% dip following Micron's Q4 release, now is not the time to trim positions. In this video, we're going to provide you with some valuable insights on why Micron could be poised for a mid to long-term uptrend. Let's dive into the details. Welcome back, Thomas. As always, thank you so much for joining me. Today, we're going to be diving deep into the story behind Micron and its recent performance. Shares of Micron are down about 5% following the Q4 release and guidance. But before investors think about trimming their positions, they need to stick with us for just a few minutes in this video here because there's a lot more to the story, isn't there, Thomas?
There is.
So as I kind of mentioned, I don't know that their Q4 results are something to brag about. Are you concerned about the recent dip?
Right. So ultimately, this is about industry normalization and inventory reset following the recent bubble bursting. So the results were down compared to last year, but they were better than expected and up sequentially. Margins were also better. The loss is shrinking and profitability is back in the forecast. Profit should resume this quarter or in early fiscal 2024. And then the guidance. The guidance was a little tepid compared to the analysts' expectations, but it is calling for growth to resume. Growth resuming is huge for this stock and for this industry.
All right, so here's where it gets just a little bit interesting. AI. So obviously we're going to talk about AI. There's no surprise there. But AI demands vast amount of memory, and it's certainly moving closer to the edge of computing. And memory chips like Microns are becoming increasingly in demand as AI continues to advance. But what does this look like? Let me just try that one again. That was too choppy. Okay. All right, well, here is where it gets a little bit interesting, Thomas. AI, obviously, we're going to talk about AI. There's no surprise there. But AI demands a vast amount of memory, and it's certainly moving closer to the edge of computing. And memory chips like Microns are becoming increasingly in demand as we see AI advance. So what does this look like long term?
Right. So I think that Micron is one of the longer term AI plays. Right now, AI is all about NVIDIA and the cloud. And business investment in advancing AI technology. But longer term AI is going to be about embedding it into the edge and into endpoints. And that's where Micron's strengths are. So over the long term, think about Micron putting its chips into everybody's computers and laptops and devices and IoT devices to power all of the AI services that are being developed today.
What are the analysts and institutions saying about Micron?
Well, the analysts like Micron. There are 27 following the stock tracked by MarketBeat. They rated a moderate buy and they're raising their price targets. More importantly, the post-release activity is bullish. It includes several price target increases that are leading the market higher.
All right, well, that is reassuring. Let's chat about your area of expertise here, Thomas. Give us some details about the technical outlook, if you would. Tell us how it's looking. Maybe also tell us what key support levels should we be watching.
Right, let's pull this chart up. Right, so if you look at Micron over the last 2 to 3 years, from this support level at 50 up to the peak, the stock is pretty range bound. We had a nice big correction driven by inventory reset that resulted in a bottom late last year. The market has bottomed and it's entered reversal, but it's been capped at the midpoint of the range. So right now, the $70 level is critical resistance. If this market gets above 70, I see it continuing higher up to the high end of the range near $90. However, in the near term, it might have trouble getting above 70. We might see some more sideways consolidation. We might even see prices pull back. If price were to pull back to the $50 level, I would consider that to be a generational buying opportunity in this stock.
As we've discussed in today's analysis, Micron may be facing some short-term headwinds, but the long-term potential remains promising. Industry normalization, AI demand, positive guidance, institutional interest, they all make Micron a stock to watch. Remember, investing is about the long game, and Micron seems poised for growth. We're going to be keeping an eye on this one together right here at MarketBeat. So remember to like and subscribe for more valuable analysis. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time, Thomas.
See you next time, Lacey.